To the Moonlight Alcove, a place I would very much like to visit in real life. Like, look, there's already, like, places to live in, like shelter. It seems like one of the more hospitable places in the downside. I think this is the place to be. You once again find yourself amid the quiet nooks of the Moonlight Alcove. Here you can await the time until the stars deign to shine for you again. Is anyone biding their time back there? I'm gonna check behind the black wagon. Anyone biding their time back there? Any new artifacts for me to touch? Like this? Ooh. Oh, this is fun. I wonder what place in real life would have the closest parallel to the Moonlight Alcove. Because that's where I want to be. So let's bide your time in the Moonlight Alcove. We have returned to a place of respite. Please make yourselves comfortable, such as you can. We are at the mercy of the stars, but I expect they shall shine bright again in time. As for me, I shall return by then, for there is something I must do. You're always doing stuff, Wilfred. You're always up to something. I trust you, but do you not like us? There, from atop the sacred mountain, you gaze down into the abyss that is the downside. You wonder when the stars shall align themselves once more. There upon the sacred mountain, you and your companions once more await the night the stars begin to shine again. The plan of which you are all a part is set in motion. The Commonwealth, a nation that stood almost for 1,000 years, is in turmoil. Your companions return there through the liberation rites. What sort of place shall they be coming back to? Many moons pass. One evening, amid a downpour with no interest whatsoever in relenting, Wilfred requests everybody to convene. You understand he has an announcement of some sort. Soon everyone is assembled, and Wilfred regards the group. Everyone, there is an aspect of our plan which I have not talked about with you at length. Despite all of our failings, the plan's probability of success has gone up like 10%. Look around at your companions. What do you see in them? Let's the question hang a moment in there. I'll tell you what I see in all of you, in all of us. I see in all of us a living vision of the 8 scribes themselves, each one among them hailing from the different tribes which later formed our commonwealth. My observation does not come from pompousness, I think. Rather, I believe the scribes themselves desired, or shall I say desire, such a course. Together they created all this ceremony of which we're now a part. The exiles, liberated through their rites, went on to found the commonwealth, based on their values and their teachings. Thus, an instrumental aspect of our plan is to embody the spirit and the culture from which the Commonwealth arose so many centuries ago. The idealistic Commonwealth. The one we're trying to get back to. That way, when all are united on the other side in solidarity, the people all shall see that we reflect the values that they yet cherish in their hearts, not merely our own. Anyway, we are still missing one key representative on behalf of Molten Melithe. That's right. The 4th of the 8 scribes. The impassioned and the wild witch, the mistress of fire and dust, claims she would scatter the world with a flick of her wrist. And I happen to know a certain bog dweller who I think shall fit the part most splendidly indeed. He motions for someone to approach. It's Big Bertrude. A certain bog dweller slithers forward. You recognize her straight away. It is my pleasure to introduce you to a dear old friend of mine whom I believe you've met. Welcome to the Nightwings, Bertrude. The bog dweller called Big Bertrude utters something guttural by way of greeting. We are to understand yet that ye require further aid from us. Yes, dear Bertrude, the time has come. Bertrude here is far and away the most accomplished alchemist whom I have ever met. You soon will find that she knows much about the rites as well. Bertrude looks to you and your fellow exiles, each in turn. We frighten ye, apparent. Everyone is silent as Bertrude searches their expressions. She does cast quite the figure. Is that like hair? What is that? Looks like little braids or something. But then she's got this hair. There's a lot I don't understand. Then tremble, small ones, and hold well thy tongues, lest we remove them. Medusa Bog Mushroom Witch. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love her design. It's really cool. I mean, it's less bangable than all the other Supergiant ones, but, you know, this is somebody's kink. And you know what? We don't judge here. We don't kink shame. That's not the kind of community I'm trying to build. She takes her leave without another word. Please excuse Bertrude's blunt manner. I guarantee she shall more than make up for it. Everyone disperses. She's strangely... She does have, like, an air of mystery about her. There is, like, something there. I think if you put just a little bit of something on the cheeks, I think I could get down. Like, there's, like, sexy gaunt, and then there's, like, sickly, like, oh no, there's something wrong. You're about it, or you're about it? That's the question. I'm looking right into your eyes, as best I can, calling you out. Now then, my girl, perhaps you notice that the stars are bright once more up there behind those stubborn rains, meaning it is time we got back to business. Indeed, once more several stars shine bright within the cold and storming sky. Let's go. All right, what are our options? Okay. Okay, more Rookie. Or, Barker. I really like him. But I want to see someone new. Ooh, okay, so we've got a Bog Witch of our own, so maybe Bertrude and Udmilde have some history. Hole in the arm is a little past sickly. Did she have a hole in her arm? Can I check that here? I'll have to check that. Ooh. I think I have to do Tamitha. I haven't seen her in a long time. And I want to get more Tamitha story too. Pam and Tam. So to have another brush with Tamitha. Perhaps she'll spare me yet another moment of her time. She's here because of me, and I am here for her. Tamitha then tells you more of your next adversary, her own blood sister. Yay! Backstory. The hair in the face, coming down like that. Hot. Black lipstick. Hot. Elf ears. Hot. Red eyes. Piercing. Hot. Wings. Hot. It's like she was designed somehow. But I don't know who could design such a thing to be so perfect. Tamitha Thane, a harp of the Highwing remnants raised from birth to excel in outwitting and outmaneuvering her enemies. She seems driven by her hatred for the Commonwealth. If only there was such a thing as like a character designer who could craft a character to be perfect. But I don't know how you could do that. And where someone would even get the qualities, the capabilities to do such a thing. I want to be here for her too. Yeah, exactly. After retreating to the mountains centuries ago, the harps refused to join the Commonwealth, and those old tensions boiled over into raids or skirmishes or all-out war. Flight tacticians such as Tamitha, so she's got a brain. She's not just a pretty face. Gave the Highwing remnants a swift and powerful military presence to this day, despite the harp's small numbers. She once hatched... It's good wordplay. Ambitious plans to overthrow the Commonwealth, breaching its defenses so her sisters could rain down untold destruction. On the darkest night of the year, she led a daring infiltration mission deep into her enemy's lands. It almost worked, but I believe her blood sister sabotaged it. However, she was betrayed. Okay, I was right. By someone very close to her, someone branded a Commonwealth sympathizer, Tamitha. Tamitha was caught, clipped, and subsequently exiled as a prisoner of war, but being trapped within the downside only stoked her fury. It's just misplaced passion. I wound up in here not too long afterwards. Anyway, it's complicated. What happened between us? What I did for her own good, and that's all. And that of all our sisters. though I'm beginning to doubt that Tamitha will ever see it that way. We'll see, I suppose, but for now, I'd best try and catch what sleep I'm able. Pleasant dreams then, darling. To the nest. You bid a good night to Pamitha in turn. No time to make flight preparations, though come morning the black wagon will press onward. Alright, let's get some Big B. She does have a hole in her arm. How does that work? She's got like she's got like ghost horns. I'm starting to see the appeal. Those snakes are really cute, though. Look at that little face right there. Look at them. The snakes are super cute. Those work for me, too. She's got, like, little things hidden in her cloak. Dibs? All right, you can. That's fine. I would never take away something precious from you, Chef Ray. That's not what we're about here. You find Big Bertrude looking about the black wagon in a disapproving way. She fixes her gaze on you. Her expression does not change. Now, are you willing... Because last time you expressed interest in Jody. And I need to know where you stand. I know where I stand. I'm building a nest. I'm embracing my bird dad nature. I'm going to overcome my fear of heights. And, you know... That's just where I'm at. So I need to know where you're at. She's giving Lamia very, very much Lamia vibes. Jody still has your heart. See, exactly. You know that there's more to love and affection than physical attraction. And Jody has stability, safety. I feel like she'd be a good listener. Have a thing for horns? Absolutely. And you should go to the downside. If you live in the downside long enough, you get horns. That's why Jody has them. Such clutter adding to this wagon since we looked upon it last. Unsightly. We remember thee from our abode and flagging hands. Then thou must be the reading one to whom Sandalwood referred. No, yeah, the horns are hot. I agree. I 100% agree. Tieflings from Dungeons & Dragons, they're sexy. And they're like a little bad. It works. I totally get it. She moves in close, studying you. Recall that the mere touch of a bog crone of the southern bogs can induce paralysis or worse. Okay, so she's got a little rogue energy. Southern bogs are a distant region of the Commonwealth left well alone despite technically being part of the nation. The cold and forbidding marshlands are home to the bog dwellers of Sar, colloquially known as the Crones. That one such as thee can extract meaning from that tome. 'Twas a feat we wish to witness for ourselves. Thy flesh has seen but the smallest fraction of the years which ours withstood, and yet we are expected to believe that thou canst understand the Book of Rites. And she backs away, for someone else has joined you. A lone minstrel. Hail, Bertrude, madam. Is everything to your liking at this time, or is there something more which you require? We have been unable to locate a supply of rotworm gizzard extract among thy belongings. Other than that, we shall lodge no complaint at present. It is possible that Volfred has a small supply among his possessions here. If you would care to accompany me, we may yet procure some. That would be agreeable with us. Then after you, madam. Bye, Big Bertrude. As they depart, you think you see the lone minstrel nod his head your way. Got us out of a tough one there. Ooh, we got some cards. Bertrude's deck. Unusual etched cards depicting the greater titans, probably for curses and enchantments. What happened? Bertrude, I'm touching your stuff. Anything? Nothing? Okay. What's up here? The canvas wings. The black wagon is flight capable, though, by which means you don't fully understand. Okay. I get drunk one time with Pamitha, and I think I can touch everything, and it's going to do something cool. The Rites of Flame. And the words of Solium Mur, last of his name. So the actual Emperor himself is writing in the book now. With these blackened nails do I hereby inscribe the Rites of Flame. The bylaws shall be written here in full. We, the Eight, decree the rites a test of one's true worth in body, mind, and spirit. Now until the stars abandon us, this shall be binding law within the downside. Those deemed worthy in the rites are to regain their freedom from the downside and return from whence they came. Exile shall conduct the rites as one of 9 triumvirates, and look towards the stars for guidance on their path. Exile shall bear this book as status. Little did he know I was going to throw the game. I think we missed some lore. Essential structure. The words of Solium Mur. The essential structure of a rite shall be as follows. Where chosen by the stars within the dark of night shall 2 triumvirates stand in opposition, far enough afield, beside their consecrated pyres symbolizing their resolve. In each triumvirate, the 3 shall act as one, to demonstrate their trust in one another, not just in themselves. Triumvirates shall endeavor to extinguish the pyre of their adversary, whose flames are only to be staunched through a celestial orb descended from the stars. Whosever pyre remains burning shall prevail, the triumvirates are to disperse. Got more? Searching the stars. We're getting a big lore dump here. We, the 8, have seen the turning of the stars from now until the end of our age. Heed their guidance and ours. The stars take many cyclic turns. The rites commence at their behest upon celestial landmarks where the downside's greater titans fell before the heavens. Bearing this, the book bestowed on your triumvirate, you, the reader, shall perceive under which stars you are to congregate. Follow where they lead, as your adversary shall. If either of you fails to appear, then neither of you walks the path. Whether you prevail or you fail, from that point the stars shall guide you. Any more? All right. Man. Before each rite, the rite shall not commence unless the necessary preparations are complete at a celestial landmark ere the stars align. Exile shall conduct the rites bearing this book, of which there are but 40 copies, each bound in astral hide. Where do you get astral hide? Maybe from one of the titans. I think the astral-born Yishlach. Exile shall wear the sacred raiments fashioned in our likeness at the summit of Mount Elodiel. Their identities are to be concealed, for they shall represent us all. Exile shall set a metal sigil for their pyre and consecrate the grounds using their words. The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours. The heaven shall respond when all is said. The Law of 3. During the rite, each triumvirate shall act as one, unerringly and without question. The disobedient shall suffer banishment or permanent expulsion. Exiles shall move as of a single mind to demonstrate their faith and recognize that they, as we the 8, cannot prevail alone. Their worth shall be determined both by their actions and their peers. Triumvirates lacking experience in this may designate a reader whose focus on this book may help the others to coordinate. However, only those who shall conduct the rites firsthand shall walk the path towards enlightenment and become eligible to regain their freedom. The Burning Pyre. At the appointed time, at the aligning of the stars, the heavens shall rain down upon the ground sufficiently, prepared, and thus the 2 opposing pyres shall be set ablaze. Thus shall commence the rite. Triumvirates are to protect their pyres as they would their lifeblood. Lifeblood itself is never to be shed before, during, or after any rite, lest the disobeyer suffer permanent expulsion. Exile is injury enough. The rite is an act of mercy. Fear not the purifying flame. Plunge into it headlong and without fear, for you shall be protected by the stars themselves. Seek freedom in the flame. The aura. All right, I'm going to take a small break here, so we can get a little bit more gameplay. You rise early that morning. Though Bertrude is already awake, she scowls at you. Good morning, reader. Bertrude, I trust your stay has not been too uncomfortable. Nay, Sandalwood, the comforts of this place are not for us. Fly us north from here to the lower ground. Let us get on with all of this. The reader here shall do so once the group is ready. I thank you for your patience. I like practicality. Like someone who, can get what they want and doesn't fuck around and waste time. Soaring above the Sclorian shore, you notice Pamitha gazing down at the frozen cliffs below. That damned place down there. I like it least of all. I think among everywhere we've been, I'm thankful that there's been no reason to return. Reminds me of my home as all the highwing remnants. We all grew accustomed to the thinner air amid the cliffs that breaches the clouds above your commonwealth. But it was not the nicest place. Little wonder that my sister settled for a rather warmer base of operations in this land, there by the nest of Trieste. Anyway, I'm pleased to have to spend as little time as possible near here. Let's fly on by and go about our business. The highway. Okay, I didn't know you could look at other stuff like that. That's cool. Whee! Oh, there was someone over there. Get him. Gotcha. Oh, he's pissed. How dare you, you Nightwing scum. You blasted fools. You cannot intimidate the accusers. We shall face you soon enough in a forthcoming right, but first, we have another pack of fools whom we must vanquish shortly. Until then, stay out of our way. Get him. Oh, that one was an accident. You can hear the angry hissing coming from Milday, all the way from your position. Ye think mayhaps the skies belong to ye? Yes. Foolish. The skies and everything above them and below belong to the astral board. Ye shall be smitten from his skies on his awakening. Now be gone. Just fucking with everybody. We're going far down. Okay, the forbidding cairn of Hoob lies below. Not many exiles see fit to cross beyond it. Some fear that the listless remain of Shax's 6 shoulders shall snatch them up if they attempt to cross. Others simply do not want to pass through the flagging hands. No doubt. Shax's 6 shoulders. That is quite the tongue twister. The bone titan slain by Haub, the swallow. None dared approach the withered fiend whose plague had spread half across the valley. Few know its true significance as we do, although your adversaries, the Essence, should be on their way there now. Soon you shall confront them once again. Alright, so we can go to Shunt, a rocky northern pass towards the ominous cairn of Hoob. Kay seems interested in visiting the mud baths. Or Licksand, an arid southern pass towards the ominous cairn. Silgerman expressed an interest in seeing how the wild curs in this vicinity are doing. I think I'm going to go... I want to go with Sir Gilman, but I've spent a lot of time with him. I have not spent a lot of time with Kay. So I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna do something new, and get some lore for her, because I don't really think I have any information about Kay. What up, Volfred? Volfred is poring over a copy of the Book of Rites as you approach. He looks up at you and smiles. Road to Freedom, written in a book that hardly anyone believes exists, and fewer still can read and comprehend. Sometimes I marvel how absurd all of this is, my girl. Tell me something, though. I've spent so much time considering the book, but known so few with whom I could discuss it in much detail. You've had some time to turn through it by now, so what do you think? Worth all the fuss? It's fascinating, of course. It's very interesting and enlightening. You tell Volfred the book has fascinated you and that you have never seen anything quite like it. He nods slowly as you describe your experience with it. I share the sentiment. To have it in our possession, a genuine artifact from a forgotten time. How much of it is exactly true and how much of it is the scribe's retelling of our events? I find it endlessly fascinating to consider, I must admit. He puts away his copy of the book with care. It is amazing that these volumes have survived for all this time. Yeah, it's amazing that we have 2 of them, I think. Whatever they are made of has withstood the ravaging effects of time quite well, and the ideas there contained, they remain rather provocative as well. To think that the Commonwealth disavows of the existence of this book, despite official recognition of the 8 scribes. Isn't that interesting? That despite honoring and kind of deifying the 8 scribes in the Commonwealth, they would probably not think highly of this book. In fact, we know they don't. Although the reasons why are in there, written plain. How fascinating that its secrets have been kept for all this time. Anyway, you'll have to excuse me for my extracurricular interests in its teaching. I used to teach a version of its history. To have access to the real thing has brought me some small pleasure. I would think that'd be a large pleasure. Let us be certain to preserve these volumes for whomever shall be next to use them. Take care of your books, guys. He turns his attention to other matters and bids you a good afternoon. I always like to take care of my books. I get really upset if books get hurt. When I was a kid, even, like if the books got bent in a particular way, or if the spines got like out of place, or got that like crease down the middle, it made me very sad, even as a wee lad. The Celestial Orb. I think we missed a page. Yeah, let's just do a little bit more reading. Exiles bearing the raiments in this book reveal their hidden inner ore in the color of their flame. The aura is the exile's solitary weapon in the rites. Should one adversaries cross one's auras, the adversary shall be banished. Banishment is fleeting nonetheless. Seek the Pyre's light and thus make your return. Yes, my mom was a librarian. It was built into my DNA. In a way, yeah. But now I'm not sure where she stands on books. To be quite honest. I imagine there are a number of books she does not agree with. But I guess the respect of the book form was definitely there. She did make me read a lot, and I can thank her for that. Yeah, I imagine some of the books I've read, she would not be very pleased with and would not go through herself. I tried to give her some recommendations on stuff to open her mind a little bit, and she made some pretty lousy excuses, which made me more confident in my choice of perhaps cutting them out. Exiles gain greater auras while standing side by side with their triumvirates, for we gain strength together. Indeed, exiles may cast their aura through sheer force. Focus on this book. Let's do one more page. The Celestial Orb. As the two flames are lit, so shall the Celestial Orb fall from the heavens. But one such orb shall be availed by the stars, requiring triumvirates to vie for it. Its cosmic connection to the flames, the raiments in this book, bestows the necessary qualities for its bearer to prevail. Effortlessly sails the orb between the three and a triumvirate. It seeks the grasp of whoever acts among the three. Once grasped, the orb shall draw within it all the bearer's aura, fueled by the triumvirate's own flame. It is to be cast into the flame. So we're seeing more of the rules for the game. It's interesting that we don't get, the manual until later. Let's explore Shunt. I don't like the way that was worded, or the way that I had to say it. No one seems very much inclined to explore the blistering environs here, except for Kay, who is more upbeat even than usual. The sacred bath in mud cleanses the mind, at least I think it does, but come look. She draws you by the hand towards one of the muddy pits, and jumps right in, laughing. At first you are put off, and yet her joy is infectious. Soon you are in better spirits, as she is. You return together to the wagon, where you find yourself with time and motivation to pursue vocations. I will wish you a pleasant day, Kay. Let's mentor somebody. Alright, who needs it? Tizo is looking... Ooh, man. I should spend some time with Bertrude. Yeah, I think that's the smartest choice. Very well then, educate us if thou canst. You and Bertrude go over what you know of the celestial landmarks you have been to, and how their properties impact the Nightwings and the Rites. You can tell she knows many of them well by now. She seems well informed. A private lesson. Thus does our grasp of ancient sorceries grow ever stronger still. I'm a snake. Alright, so what kind of stuff does Bertrude have? She has the Passions of the Wild Witch, which enhances a crone's ability to recover. Molten Milithe's dour disposition belied her unyielding determination to gain mastery in all things. Or the Sorceries of the Southern Bogs. Enhances a crone's ability to press her advantage. Those who withstood Milithe's teachings found they long kept prodding at the edges of their understanding. It's fun to push the limits of knowledge sometimes. So let's see what our options are. Hex of Victory. While Bertrude's Pyre has more flame than the adversary, she deals more damage. After Bertrude pounces on an adversary, she instantly recovers all stamina while slithering. Bertrude uses less stamina and moves quicker. Once per rite, after saluting adversaries, Bertrude turns them into fast-moving howlers. Ooh, that's fascinating. On the other side, while Bertrude's Pyre has less flame than the adversary, she deals more damage. This is about overcoming disadvantages. Bertrude's Aura Blast arcs at a wide angle, banishing adversaries in a larger area. The charge-up time before Bertrude can use her Aura Blast is reduced. While Bertrude's Pyre has less than the other adversary, her adversaries deal less damage. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to go with the other side, though, because I want to see what this thing about turning people into howlers is. Let's do that. These landmarks strewn about this cursed land, too many are too dry upon the flesh. Many sought out Molten Melithe in hopes that she would either give them blessings or else curse their enemies. Let us go on with our journey. To the next rite. To the Cairn of Hoob. Alright. Anybody want to talk? Somebody talk. Yay! Ooh, a xylophone? Oh, a xylobone. Oh no. Whee! Kay seems to be talking to the black wagon's walls again, though this time something seems to have come over her. Little brother, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Oh god, what the hell is happening to her? You are unsure whether to check in with her or leave her be. Kay is acting rather odd. Let's give her the chance to see what she needs herself. I love her nail polish. You sense now is not the time to interrupt, and that Kay is on the verge of confronting some long dormant emotions which she ought to face. I'll be here when she needs me. They always said that there was something wrong with me, but they wouldn't really tell me what. They wouldn't say. They said I was moon-touched. But so what? So then, the scribes, they called me here. They are the ones who brought me here, not those people. They were so cruel. They always were so cruel. I didn't have a little brother at the time. No one that I recall, really, although so much of it back then, I can't tell how much of it I dreamt. Most of it, I didn't want it to be true. But I remember that they threw me out. They decided they would throw me out and let the scribes take care of me, they said. The scribes, they would take care of me. That sounds like an excuse, because they didn't want to take care of somebody who truly needed help. It was so very quiet here and all alone. Again, although I think I liked it more, being alone down here than being alone back there. Everybody's alone down here, and so it makes me feel less alone somehow. Back there, why, I would sometimes see families, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, but here, there was hardly anyone at all. But I knew that I was closer to the scribes. I knew that they were in the sky above, and I did search for them up there, and then one night I found them. I saw the stars, and they were falling to the ground, and I thought, why is it the scribes themselves are crying? Are they sad, and maybe are they sad for me? Well, that was when I first saw you, little brother. With your help, I would get closer to the scribes. That way, maybe they could answer all my questions, don't you think? But I'm so very glad I found you and the others. I'm finally not alone. Aw. I'm finally not alone, and more importantly, I think sometimes I even feel that way, that I'm not alone. Maybe as we get closer, maybe I will get to feel that way more often, being here or being anywhere with you and all my friends. She falls silent. Though you were concerned for her at first, you sense that now she is at peace. She wanders off, paying you no notice in the least. You sense you have a better understanding of her now. So did they cast her down here just for being, they call moon-touched? Is that her quote-unquote crime, is being, like, I guess their version of like a neurodivergent, like her mind just works a little differently? She's just a little harder to understand, and they're not willing to put in the work to love somebody and help somebody and care for them? Assholes. Yeah, oh, she does have a bit of a Luna Lovegood vibe. You're right. And based off of my daughter, I love Luna Lovegood. Let's see. She was born on the 19th of 11th moon. So she is driven and fixated. Vagrancy. So what kind of bullshit does vagrancy mean in this corrupt land? She failed to meet basic cognitive standards and had no place or family in the Commonwealth. Yeah, I feel that. I totally feel that. She's just, her mind didn't work the way that they wanted it to work. So they just told her to fuck off. Motive none. Yeah, I wonder why. It's because you BS'd some crap about her. Ugh, so upsetting. The record states she demonstrated a thorough lack of understanding of her wrongdoing. Yeah, maybe she shouldn't be down here then. Frickin' awful. She was a special child left abandoned, and despite her seemingly simple nature, she possessed a strange affinity for the old ways. One day she was taken in by the authorities, and when she revealed her fixations about the scribe, she was deemed witless. When no one claimed responsibility for her, she was cast into exile. On the downside, she has wandered aimlessly in search for more clues about the legendary heroes who so fascinate her. Awful. Just awful. What up, Falcon Ron? Cheer me up, man. Bit of a downer mood. Oh, hey, you guys. Always nice to see some more customers because, you know, I don't always get too much around here, and sometimes it gets kind of lonely here, I guess. You should hang out with Kay. She's worried about being lonely. Right, I'm going to sell this little black cap. You may have it. And that's it. I don't think I need anything. Yeah, I don't need anything. See you guys again sometime soon. Maybe, okay, because I gotta say, you're my favorite customers I had all week. All week? All week. I feel like I get a little more. I always give you cool mushrooms, man. I don't know what you do with them, but that's worth something. You sell them? Do you bake them into downside brownies? What you got going on, man? You can make a killing selling edibles down here. People need, like, relief. Then again, like, all the horrors of this place, if you're, like, on some kind of psychedelics, it might, like, send you into madness. Like, imagine seeing this thing all freaking out of your gourd. Freak the fuck out of you.